80s. Those were the times. Back then, wizards and witches were all men. Manly men. Not some little kids on a magical train on a journey to a magical place which teaches them to be good little wizards and do all kinds of flowery magic and all that kind of sissy crap. They were actually killers, and they were called warlocks.
That could set the world on fire. Warlock.
You'll have to excuse me if I sound a bit off or more pissed off than usually. It's because I had fever last week and I still have cough, and usually my coughs, they stay like a couple of months and it pisses me off. I'm hating life at the current moment, so yeah. Try to bear with me. Anyway, we're here to check out Warlock Trilogy. I got the Steelbook, so yeah, I figured I'd do a little video about this because I always loved these movies. Well, at least the first two. Got this from Germany, because you can't find this anywhere really. Germany, they print out some of the coolest stuff ever, you know, stuff that no one else touches. Warlock, I don't know if you know the movie series, is first one came out 89, and it was this smaller budget action adventure with maybe a little bit of horror tropes thrown in, but I wouldn't consider it horror in any imaginable way. Well, it was kind of bloody, so in that sense, yeah, maybe, but yeah. Other than that, I'd call it a action adventure. So I got this Steelbook of the trilogy, and it's got this shitty little flap. I hate these. These are the worst, because I want to preserve all these, but fuck's sakes, this is gonna go get lost. I mean, and it's so annoying. Look at it. Fucking sucks. I don't know why they do this. Throw that shit away. Here's the Steelbook though, and I love this Steelbook. It's kind of dark. I don't know if you can see that, because it looks really fucking dark when I'm looking at my little screen there on my camera. Behind here, that's actually, I think this is the main cover for Warlock 1, 89 when it came out. I do believe it's that, because I always kind of mix this with Highlander. These movies do have kind of similar vibes in some ways, which I kind of dig. Highlander is definitely the better movie though, but Warlock is fucking fantastic too. I love these. But yeah, Highlander also had that cover where the guy was kind of screaming like, yeah, it was very similar, and these actually do feel like similar movies in a sense that they might even exist in the same universe. In a way. They have that kind of 80s vibe. I'm talking about the first movies in both series. Nothing past that. But yeah, here on the side it says Warlock Trilogy, and when you open this up, well, there's Warlock 2 and 3 and Stellar Blade, which I was playing, but I decided to watch Warlock 1. I actually watched it second time since I bought this, because it's that damn good and fun movie. The Warlock 1 disc is pretty much same as 2 and 3, except there's just 1, if that makes any sense. Really cool Steelbook. I do like this, and yeah, it's been so long since I last saw this trilogy or any of these movies, so yeah, I was really excited to get this. I just remember loving the first movie, especially back in the days, and it was really awesome to get this and check them out again, and I still love the first one. And the second one's really good too. I figured I'd include little reviews of every movie here, so we might as well get started with that. We'll start with Warlock 1. Yeah, I said wizards and witches, but Warlock is kind of a witch, except sounds much cooler.
Who did you have in mind? Like a relative?
Like a father.
What's his name?
He has many.
Now the first movie stars Richard E. Grant as the main hero, who is kind of this witch hunter, and then there's Laurie Singer, who's the female lead, and he's during the modern day. I'll explain that in a minute. And then there's the Warlock, who's played by Julian Sands, and he is fucking awesome. He steals the show. Julian Sands is such an underrated actor. He died way too early. That's what I know. I don't know a lot of his movies, but I know Warlock 1 and 2. In third one he wasn't in it. And Arachnophobia, you know, the movie about the spiders who kill, and there's John Goodman and Bill Pullman was in it. I haven't seen that in ages either. The movie starts in 1691 when the Warlock is actually captured and waiting for his execution. Now you might be curious, how exactly do they plan to execute a Warlock? Well, they're gonna hang him and burn him on top of a basket full of live cats.
Thou art to be hanged and then burnt over a basket of living cats.
I mean, that's some old school magic shit. They don't do movies like that anymore, or stuff like that in movies anymore. This movie it's so fantastic. It's got all these kind of cool, older style beliefs, and in these movies, the Warlock's always looking for a way to destroy Earth and universe. So yeah, it's much more grandeur than, you know, some Harry Potter shit. I actually don't know what Harry Potter shit. I watched those, they were alright, but yeah, wasn't really for me, but yeah, I hate the kind of polished, made for kids bullshit, you know, where everything's just so happy and all the magics are, you know, ooh, let's mix these flowers and butterflies and I don't know, we can fart rainbows, but not in this movie. Anyway, as the Warlock is tied down, really tied down, he's got like thumb irons and all that, you know, he's like this really uncomfortable position, and they actually made him look like he's a real scary son of a bitch, you know, like he really needs to be tied down so he can't wiggle his nose and do any kind of magics like that or anything like that. He actually escapes before the execution. He gets his thumbs free, and yeah, as the witch hunter is coming to check him out, he's just about to leave the place through a portal, and the witch hunter jumps after him into the portal, and that's how they travel into modern day. So that's why the movie takes place in 1989, which is modern day.
Nay, look not in his eyes! Nay!
30 years ago. So the Warlock crashes through a window into this guys and girls house. The girl is Laurie Singer, who's the main lead, female lead, and the guy is just some gay guy. He's gay. I'm not calling him gay like, haha, gay. No, he's a gay guy. They're just roommates and they live together. So they nurse the Warlock back to health, which is great idea. So after the Warlock is feeling better, he ends up killing the gay guy and taking a hike. Cuts his finger off and bites his tongue out. Like I said, there's a little bit of gore. It's not like real bloody, but you can see the tongue when he spits it out on a frying pan. So after the cops have done questioning and all that, then the witch hunter arrives at the scene, and he's asking for Laurie where the witch is, or, you know, if he bled anywhere. That's what I love about this movie. It's got like these real cool old school style magic stuff, you know, how you track the witches, you know, you need the witch's blood, and then he makes a compass that always points to the witch, which is just really cool idea. I love all that little stuff in this, you know, the attention to details, how they really made everything feel like really medieval and brutal in a way. Anyway, the cops take away the witch hunter, and in meanwhile, the Warlock is meeting this seer, spiritualist, whatever, you know, who kind of contacts the dead, because the Warlock is looking for, was it Zamiel, some name for Satan. So the woman, after a couple of times trying to screw the Warlock, actually gets possessed by the Samuel or
Zamiel.
Whatever, and he tells the Warlock to go and look for the Grand Grimoire, which is like the ultimate spell book which can destroy Earth, universe, all that, you know, existence basically, because that book actually includes God's name. So if you say God's name backwards, you can undo everything he's ever created. Fantastic idea. Love it. Problem is, the book has actually been torn into 3 different pieces, and they're in the most random of spots. Actually, the first piece is back at Laurie Singer's place. That's kind of how we get Laurie Singer into the adventure, because the Warlock goes back, gets those pages, and then he puts a hex on the Laurie's character, which makes her age 2 decades every day. He jumps from 20 to 40 and 40 to 60 and so on and so well. Well, she's gonna die of old age pretty soon, so, you know, just like a couple of days, you know, half a week or something. And the Warlock takes a little bracelet from her, so she needs to get that back to break the spell, and at the same time help the witch hunter to find the Warlock and stop the end of all humanity and all humankind. It's the witch hunter and Laurie Singer's character who are trying to find the Warlock and stop his plans. But it is really fun movie, you know, there's lots of, you know, kind of gruesome scenes. Like the seer, when she gets possessed by the Satan, it's kind of cheesy and all that, you know.
Bring together my people.
A lot of the actors in this movie are kind of cheesy and not that great, but they're decent enough, you know, they're like 80s entertaining bad kind of way. Julian Sands is definitely like the best thing in this movie easily. He's just such an entertaining character and actor. He's got this really kind of British presence, but at the same time kind of evil in him too, you know, because he comes off as this really polite dude, but still evil as shit.
I am he who makest whole the glorious goal of Satan's unborn soul!
So yeah, the seer, while he's possessed by Satan, basically tells the Warlock that he can use the seer's eyes or actually Samuel's eyes, guide him where the pages of the Grand Grimoire are. So basically after he leaves the body, Julian Sands needs to carve out the eyes from the seer. I just really love that. It's such a brutal idea, but also at the same time it's kind of, that actually feels like what witches actually would have done. The Warlock movie actually has really interesting lore and all kinds of little things that go with the warlocks and witches and stuff. They have all these kind of cool little details, like when the warlocks close, all the milk or cream goes bad and flames burn in blue flame, and I love that stuff because it's more kind of biblical destruction type of stuff, you know. It's really like they're a bad omen, they're bad presence which poisons all the surroundings and all that. There's just tons of all kinds of neat little stuff like that in this movie, you know. Like my favorite, which is really fucking gruesome, but at one point the warlock is talking to this little kid, like I don't know, 6-7 years old, and then there's this singing going because there's church, and the warlock asks the little boy why he isn't in church. The little boy says, well, cause my dad won't let me cause he doesn't believe in all that Jesus crap and all that. Just the evil smile Julian Sands get on his face. Next thing you know, the main characters arrive at the scene. They don't show the little kid, but he's dead. Apparently, you need unbaptized little kid's fat to make a flying potion. Like, who the hell does stuff like that? That's insane.
I need no broomstick to fly.
Yeah? What do you need?
Overall, I just really love the first Warlock movie. It's so fantastic, and the main characters, the witch hunter played by Grant, and then the main female lead, Laurie Singer, while they're not as good as Julian Sands, obviously, they still do a really decent job, and I really love both of them in their own roles, and they have good chemistry together, in my opinion, and it's kind of fun to look at the witch hunter. He came from 1691, just be all confused about cars and all that shit, you know. But at the same time, he kind of has to focus on getting the witch or the warlock as fast as he can, so he kind of can't really stop and marvel all this shit that's in the modern day, but still, you know, there's a little bit of that, and I always enjoy that kind of fish out of water story where someone's in a completely new place where they don't really know shit about, so everything's kind of like this just really fun and underrated 80s action adventure. I do recommend if you're into that kind of 80s kind of cheesy but in a good way action stuff, you know. This one's really for you, and if you have any interest in warlocks and wizards and all that kind of lore more, maybe the older style lore, which is really gruesome, then I think this is a fantastic movie in that sense too. You know, if I had to give this a score, I think I'd go with 8 out of 10. It's not a perfect movie, but it is fun. Fun ride from start to finish. Then there's Warlock 2.
The son of Satan has returned to fulfill his destiny.
What dost thou command?
Second one throws everything out the window. Julian Sands, well, he was the bad guy in the first one, and bad guys usually lose, so they probably didn't really know how to bring him back, so they just made up a whole new story, and it's not good. Turns out, in the second one, once in every millennia, there are these druids who stop Antichrist from being born on Earth. Yeah, they show the last time that almost happened, and they stopped it. Then there were some bad guys who came in and killed all the druids and all that. Well, the druids are now in modern day, and they're getting ready to stop the Antichrist coming again. And there's this boy and girl, Kenny and his girlfriend. I don't actually remember the girlfriend's name or anything, but it was Kenny and his girlfriend. And then there's a bunch of old farts who are these druids, and Kenny and his girlfriend are supposed to be the next druids or something like that, and they do all kinds of Jedi stuff, you know. They learn to throw baseballs with their mind and all that kind of stuff. They're all just really bad actors. Then suddenly there's this woman who's in his apartment, and like in 2 minutes she gets pregnant and gives birth to this blob.
Don't you want to give your boy a kiss, mother?
And the blob eats the woman's dog, and then suddenly he's all grown up and it's Julian Sands again, which is great. The second one is actually the goriest out of these movies, you know. It's fantastic, the gore and all that. And while the plot is really fucking stupid and all the other actors except Julian Sands suck, it's still a fun movie. Cause it's basically just Julian Sands killing all kinds of people in the most gruesome ways. I'm all for that. Now on top of being Warlock, he's also Satan's son. There's that too. Oh, and this time he's looking for 5 stones and he has 6 days to find them. Now instead of getting anyone's eyes, this time he has a map, and he gets the map from his mom, who gave him the birth, basically a piece of her skin, and the map kind of appears on the piece of skin. It's great. Basically Warlock 2 is a road movie where Julian Sands just goes around looking for stones and killing people in all kinds of gruesome ways. And
I wish to be transported to Chicago.
Get the fuck out of my face, Blondie.
they're fucking fantastic. Like, one person gets their scalp just kind of ripped off, and the elevator scene. The elevator scene is probably my favorite. Oh, I mean, they don't really show what happens in the elevator, but once Julian Sands leaves the elevator, it's just kind of bloody mess in the elevator. It's just so great. The second movie just doesn't really have like this clear direction like the first one had, anything like that. And like I said, everyone's pretty much a shitty actor except Julian Sands. He just goes on a road trip and kills stuff.
He is evil, the deliverer of Armageddon.
You really are a psychic.
And tries to find the stones. There's also a catch. He has to get the stones from the persons willingly. I mean, they have to give it to him. So he basically has to use his charm to get that. Or some kind of torture methods or something like that. It's just really fucking fun movie. Such a gruesome movie, but so much fun, you know. I mean, not as good as the first one, but still really enjoyable. I really dug that movie from start to finish. Even the parts where there's all those really shitty actors and there's no Julian Sands. It's kind of fun to watch, you know, like what kind of difference it is when Julian Sands is actually acting and when all the old farts and druids and all those are acting. They're just so goddamn crappy. If I had to give it a score, I think I'd give the second one a 7 out of 10. First one was 8 out of 10. First one is definitely the best movie out of the trilogy. I do recommend, you know, if you want to watch these movies, the second one is worth the watch too. It's fun, don't expect anything too intellectual or anything like that. Just watch it and enjoy the carnage. I'll try to get through the third one quickly because I'm coughing my goddamn lungs out here between these takes. So third movie could easily be summed up in one word, and that's crap.
Warlocks work their spells with the aid of a personal item from their victim.
Fight for your life and never give up.
Okay, first of all, you don't have Julian Sands anymore, which fucking sucks. The Warlock's being played by Bruce Payne, which is a cool name, and he kind of seems like he could be a decent actor in some things, but here, definitely not. He just kind of sucks. But compared to the rest of the cast, which are just these random teenagers, he's fucking Al Pacino. Take that as you want. The movie starts somewhere in the Middle Ages, and there's a woman who loses her daughter, and then it jumps into modern times, and there's a girl. Oh, there's also boobs in this one. There's more boobs than in the other ones, but man, this was so boring movie. It made even the boobs feel really boring. Those were the dullest tits I've ever seen. Anyway, the female lead in this movie, she finds out that she has some relatives who have died, and there's this house which is I guess hers, and she really didn't know anything about it, so she goes out and checks out the house, and it's in the middle of nowhere, pretty much in this small village or something, and it's haunted or bad luck or whatever, and she goes there, and it kind of starts off as a haunted house movie.
Very powerful energy in this place.
Which is kind of weird. And just before she's had enough with the ghosts, she's about to leave, all her friends arrive, and well, they decide to stay there in the house, and later on, there's the Warlock who comes to visit, and in this movie, he kind of just hangs around in the house and talks to the kids, kind of manipulates them, and all that kind of stuff, and it's definitely no Julian Sands. I mean, what is this bullshit? Julian Sands would have just skinned all the kids right then and there.
Picasso. Definitely Picasso.
The Warlock just kind of trying to turn everyone against the female lead in this movie, because for some reason everyone needs to kind of be okay with the Warlock having the female lead. He needs to get the female lead's all friends to say that, yeah, take her, or something like that. It was so goddamn boring. I don't really even know all the details because I was having a hard time just staying up while I was watching this movie. It was so goddamn crappy. It kinda looks like it's one of those really cheap, straight-to-TV sci-fi channel shit. There's really nothing I liked about this movie, it was just boring shit. The house was kinda boring, all the characters were stupid and annoying and really bad actors, and well, the Warlock was just not good. It had only one scene that I was kinda surprised by and almost flinched. There was this kind of mirror scene where the female lead is looking at the mirror and then she turns away and the mirror image just starts kind of doing her own thing, and that was like the only cool scene. I mean, even the tit scenes were kind of crappy. And then the end fight with the Warlock and the female lead, that was so bad. I mean, the female lead was trying to escape through this little hole, kind of crawl out, and the Warlock was there like at her feet, standing there for the longest time and kind of looking like they were kind of trying to struggle, but not. It was just shit. Just overall really low budget crap. The whole movie, from start to finish, I can't recommend this movie. Well, if you want to see the whole trilogy, then yeah, go right ahead. But this one has nothing to do with the previous one. Well, kind of like second didn't have nothing to do with the first one either, except Julian Sands was there at least. But still, this just kind of sucked.
Hello. My name is Philip Covington.
I don't know, there was nothing cool magic or potions or anything like that. No eating children or their fat. No ripping out eyes. There was one scene, one person's throat got ripped out or something. I don't remember exactly how it went, but that was like kinda gruesome scene, but I think they used all their budget in that one throat rip scene, and that was about it. If I had to give a score to Warlock 3, I'd give it 3 out of 10. That might actually be pushing it. 2 out of 10 might be better, but we'll go with 3 out of 10. I'm a nice guy, so yeah, 3 out of 10. Anyway, that was my review of Warlock Trilogy, and yeah, I kind of tried to do this video because I want to have something on my channel, and yeah, I'm coughing and all that shit. I hope the cough just kind of goes away soon, so I can resume my regular stuff at more faster pace and all that. Because now it's kind of hard making this, because I talk a lot, you know, you don't see half the shit I talk here actually. I cut a lot of this out, so yeah, I think I'll just go outside and try to look for, I think all my neighbors have like unbaptized little shits, so at least I can take a flight or something, you know. Maybe the fresh air up there will do good for the throat or something like that, I don't know. Anyway, fuck off, and I'll fuck off, and let's fuck back here when I come up with something else, if I can talk. Go make flying potions.